What's up, everybody? I'm Zach, and welcome back to Aerial Assault. And today we're here to talk about the new X-Wing platform from Latitude. All right, before we dive off into this, first I want to say that I'm using some new audio equipment today, so please go below and let me know what you think. Apparently all my neighbors decided today's the day to weed eat, mow, grill in their yard. So if there's some background noise, I do apologize, and I'm trying out this new mic, so let me know what you think about that if you don't mind. But anyways, let's move on to the X-Wing, and I'll let you know what I've thought about it since hunting with it. That's right, I did get to hunt off this. In Tennessee, we have a early velvet season that last weekend of August, so I did get to hunt off this. So I feel like I have some input that maybe some other guys wouldn't. I've spent several hours on this, several days in a row, so I feel like whatever obstacles I was going to run into, as experienced as I am at this type of hunting, I was able to put it through all of those tests in that time. But before we get in on the tree and kind of talk about what I run into or what I didn't run into, what I liked, let's talk about the platform itself. Sub 3 pounds, even with a strap. So I weighed it with a strap. You're talking 2 pounds, 15 ounces, or 15.7 ounces, I think it was. So it is a very light platform, and it's pretty odd looking, but there is a lot of foot room on here. You're talking over 16 inches from tip to tip on the wings, and over 11 inches deep, or around 11 inches deep. I'm not sure the exact measurement. It's plenty for me. Some other videos have talked about the platform being sharp. I do not have that issue on mine, so maybe that's a quality control issue. I'm not sure. But on mine, I'm not going to say that they're beveled, because they're not, but there is not a bird edge on here. It is not sharp at all. There's not a single area that I feel like I would cut myself. But it is machined, so it is going to be a little bit louder. So you can see that I've added steel strips here and here so that the contact points are a little quieter, because if you don't, of course, it is going to resonate through the platform with it being machined. Okay, but now that you know a little bit about the platform, let's put it on the tree. I'll show you, what I thought about it after the weekend hunt and after several days here in the yard. And, maybe it'll help you make a decision on whether or not you're going to buy one. All right, first things first, let's talk about what I found best to put it on the tree. I'm not going to say this is what works best for everyone, but at my weight, this seemed to work best for me. I felt like toe hooking it was too aggressive. And what I'll show you is that the button on this platform, for whatever reason, seems to be higher up than most. I would prefer for it to be lowered down, putting a little more pressure at the bottom. But what that ends up doing is when you toe hook it and you step on it, ends up bringing this bracket down almost level with the strap, or sometimes to where it's touching the strap. I'm just not a fan. So what I like to do is I like to get the strap as horizontal to the ground as possible, or parallel to the ground. And I will pull it tight while the platform is up, push it down, and I'll halfway cam it. And I usually pull it back up and just take whatever slack's left out, if there is any. Then the great thing about these wings is, even if you're standing over here to the side, you can usually grab this platform and you can use it and pull down pretty good. And when you do that, just straighten the platform up and cam it over before ever climbing on it. And as you can see, because of that high button, it still puts this tree bracket pretty low compared to the strap of other platforms. And I think that does take a little bit of the weight into the tree away from the bottom. Not that that's a killer. That's why it wouldn't matter, because if you run a ring of steps, it would pull that into the bottom. That's why I think this is meant to run with a ring of steps. Honestly, I think it takes it to a whole different level, as I said before. But let's climb up on it. Now you see how I cam it, and even once you got it to this point, you could always take it up, take a little more slack out of it, throw it down, and as you can see, it does cam really hard to the tree. It's very aggressive. Those top teeth are very aggressive, and it does go in nice and solid. All right, and I think one thing that got everybody really excited about the X-Wing was the ability to keep your body or your feet closer to the tree. On most platforms, if you wanted to do that, you're putting your heels on the platform and toes on the tree. And I was just the only position that you could get up here close. And then you were either hanging out on the edge of the platform here. Most guys who've used the ring of steps have found that sitting with your feet wide and to the side of the tree seems to be really one of the most comfortable ways to sit in a saddle. And when sitting, it just makes it easy to come in, straddle the tree. And that's kind of what the X-Wing does. It kind of blends those two. It blends the ring of steps and the platform. So what I found is when sitting like this, and as you can see my feet, I have a foot on each wing. This is very comfortable for me. I can situate to where my heels are on it. There's times where I would put, you know, my up closer to the top of my ball of my foot, right in the center of the ball of my foot. I mean, there's just several different ways. And as far as sitting like this on the platform, it's one of the best out there. It's just the most comfortable to me as far as how you can sit and relax. It's a very comfortable position. With that said, I do wish that this platform right here, this angle, I do wish that it was beveled kind of at a 25-degree angle so that when my feet were resting here, it wasn't resting on this solid edge. But as long as I'm wearing a good pair of boots, I found that not to be a problem. I was wearing a cheaper Under Armour pair of boots from the first day. My feet were killing me. Later that day, I wore a nice set of Iris Setters and my feet were no issue. So if you're going to use this platform, I do suggest using a nicer soled boot. Other than that, a lot of people look at it and say, I can't believe, you know, there's no way you can use that to stand up on. I disagree. The wings give you quite a bit of room. If you put your foot on one wing and this foot here almost has all of it, you know, there's a little gap there, but I'm pretty solidly standing up and without ever sitting in my saddle can move to here. Another way to stand is with both feet on this side of the post. I don't like this as much, but it is doable. And then if you get close to the tree, you can kind of duck foot, put your heels out, and stand pretty easily. But as you can see, I'm never going down into the saddle. And I'm able to maneuver standing up pretty well. That's not something I do regularly, but it is nice to sometimes just take that pressure off of the saddle and give yourself a break. So if you wanted to do the move that some people like and put the tether up over your shoulder, it is doable. I'm not going to undo mine because I have this cheap tether up here. But as you can see, I can turn around and put my tether under there. And if I go over the top, I can stand backwards. It's not my favorite way to do it. But with that said, let's kind of get into, I think a lot of misconception is that people thought they were going to be pushing off the back of these wings. And then I've heard some stories about kicking out. So earlier we talked about the button being a little too high on the post for my liking. And I think what that does is that takes a lot of pressure into the tree off the bottom. So some people are having some kick out issues. I think the heavier you are, the bigger an issue that's going to be. What I found is as long as you keep your weight on the wings, even when you come over here, you can get some flex, but not kick out. A majority of the time, if I were going to turn to my weak side and make the farthest weak side shot I would, my knee would be into the tree as such. I would be here, and I do not feel any doubt in doing that. I do think that I can make it kick out because of this strap being so high. I do think that I could get back here, and you can see there is some flex in that post. Yes, I can make it kick out. I don't think I would ever do it in a hunting situation. With that said, I'm 200 pounds. So, you know, maybe that'd be different for a guy who's 265. Maybe you should never run this without the ring of steps, which personally, I think with the ring of steps, this thing is going to be the bomb. I've sold all mine over the years, but I plan on buying another set, and I will probably run this all the time with a ring of steps. One extra little thing to carry. It's so light that I won't notice carrying the extra steps. and it gives me that 360-degree option with ease. So let's try it on the other side after I've already kind of pushed on that, caused it to wobble a little bit. As you can see, the post can get some twist in it. So if I come all the way over here, as long as I stay on that wing, I'm okay. I think once I get back in here, it gets a little bit sketchy at times. And that's because you're pushing onto the teeth themselves. So my recommendation would be just stay off of this area while pushing forward into the platform. Other than that, I have zero issues with it. I'm not going to sit here and bounce on it. I don't think it's meant for that. It wasn't meant to be the strongest, sturdiest platform. It was meant to be different, give you a wide stance in the tree. And I do believe it does that. I told you earlier that I don't like to tow hook it. And as you can see here, I'll go ahead and do that. But that lowered that strap some. And now my tree bracket is even lower. And in my opinion, that's going to give less forces into the tree, see? So I think there is a point that you can put too much pressure down. With that said, when you're facing the tree and on 99% of shots, I have absolutely no issue with it. I think there is some people who's going to complain, some people who's not going to be comfortable. I'm not one of those guys. Slap a ring of steps on here, and I think it's the best platform on the market for that setup. It allows me to sit more comfortably than I do with any of the others. And what I'll probably do is set my first step here and my first step here so that I can have my heel and my toe there. And I can easily sit into the tree like this, kick back, and be very comfortable. All right, and I kind of want to show you, you know, here's this groove, and we talked about putting a ring of step strap there. And the reason I think I would recommend it if you're inexperienced at all, or if you have any worries about, you know, this platform kicking out on you. I personally don't. I've tested it in every area for my size. I think in every hunting situation, I'm going to be fine. But the reason is that right there, I think is due to the button being too high on this post. And I think an easy fix would be to lower the button for the Latitude guys if you're watching. And you know, if you have this platform or you really like this platform, but you know, you're worried about it, if you throw a ring of step strap on here, I think it's going to completely eliminate that. And it's going to make this one of the best hunting utensils for a saddle hunter there is, at least comfort wise and maneuverability. We already know that the ring of steps are extremely maneuverable. They're not always the most comfortable. There's nowhere to stand. You know, there's some people run them with a regular platform. I think that this is a better blend between a regular platform and a ring of steps because of the wide stance that it allows you to have and keeping your feet close to the tree. But hey guys, you know, that's what I think about it after several hunts over a 3-day weekend in Tennessee, plus what I've used here in the backyard. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think below about the platform and about the audio, if you don't mind. Like I said, I got people mowing next door. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but you know, just please leave a comment, hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, guys.